So Aliyah Boston, she walked out of the game yesterday. Nobody knew what had happened. Nobody knew what was going on. And it turns out that she has what we will call as the mystery injury curse for the Indiana Fever. As in, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you are going to get from the Indiana Fever. And the Indiana Fever, when it comes to a player being injured, they will give the single most vague response ever. Like, they will give the most vague response they possibly can, and then they will go and pretend that that's like the fans are the fans are at fault for going for like being annoyed by it. So again, Aliyah Boston came into the season hurt. She got hurt in the last game of Rivals. Nobody exactly knew what was wrong with Aliyah. They just said lower leg. There was no contact. It was just lower leg injury. That was all we heard. Was lower leg injury. And the Indiana Fever, let's never forget that the Indiana Fever went out of their way to pretend that Caitlin Clark was fine last year. So, I'm going to be very, very clear with this one here. So, what happened last year with the Indiana Fever? So, Caitlin Clark injured her ankle. Like, she injured her ankle, and while she was about to come back from her groin injury, she was rehabbing her ankle, and in the end, she ended up, being out for the year. Aliyah, again, we're just hearing lower leg injury. We're hearing lower leg injury, it's mystery injury. So, this was the status report going into the playoffs, right before the playoffs. Caitlin Clark, out, right groin. Caitlin Clark said herself that the right groin was not the reason why she got hurt. She said herself that the right groin was not why she was out. That the reason why she was out was because of an ankle sprain. If you guys don't know, this is what the Fever said about Caitlin Clark's ankle sprain. The ankle sprain that kept her out of the playoffs. Sources confirmed to me that Caitlin Clark suffered a very mild bone bruise on her ankle. Sources stressed that this does not tweaked ankle does not affect her return timetable. Sans ankle injury, she would still be at rehabbing her groin. Caitlin said herself, that the reason she was out was because she had the worst ankle sprain of her life. The Fever to Chloe Peterson, it's a very mild bone bruise, doesn't affect anything. The Indiana Fever released this statement as well. There was no timeline or projected return to play, so it's impossible to say if it was impacted, so it remains the same. Give Caitlin as much time to ensure she comes back healthy. So basically, by that logic, I said at the time, well, we didn't give it return to play, so, it was impossible to say if it was affected. No, they wanted to hide the fact that she injured her ankle. They wanted to hide the fact she injured her ankle. Caitlin came out herself and basically said, my groin was fine, it was my ankle why I was out. The Indiana Fever publicly said, no, her ankle's fine, it's her groin. Again, you have a player in Aliyah Boston who now has a mystery injury. She has a mystery injury. That is the problem. The problem isn't that Aliyah Boston's hurt. That happens. The problem is Aliyah Boston has had a mystery injury. A mystery injury for 3 months. Nobody has any idea whatsoever. No one has any idea whatsoever about what's going on. Because there is a mystery injury. At the end of the day, what can we do as fans? Like, the media will be like, oh, it's the fans' fault for, overreacting. But I'm sorry, the Indiana Fever medical team, I know it's a new medical team, but they literally lied about an injury to a player. And at worst, misled. If you don't want to go as far as to say lie, they misled fans about an injury to a player. And again, the player contradicted what the team said. Aliyah now has had a mystery injury for 3 months. The fact she's checking herself out of games halfway through because of said mystery injury, and they didn't sign her back up while she was injured, is even more concerning. But because she checked herself out of games because of it, I think one has to assume that the injury is a real concern. And because what? In 3 months' time, we get to the and she aggravated it and is in the same spot as she was in the Rivals. In 3 months' time, she's is going to be near the playoffs. Fever might be out of the playoffs at that stage. They might be well and truly in the lottery, and is now at the stage where you've got I don't even know what you do. I don't even know what you do. Do you sit her for the season? Because if she's not right after 3 months and is in the same position as she was 3 months ago, it's probably not smart to play her for the season. It's probably not smart to put her back in the game. It's probably not smart. That being said, this could be a completely different injury. And again, a lower leg injury could be anything from plantar fasciitis, a broken foot, a sprained ankle, 2 torn ACLs, or a freaking blood clot. It could literally be anything. Lower leg injury could mean anything. And the problem is that Aliyah Boston was injured for 2 months with a quote-unquote lower leg injury. Was on a minutes restriction and got 2 games into the season without another lower leg injury. And it could be something completely different. But according to what the Fever are doing and saying, how are we supposed to know that? How are we supposed to anticipate this is any different? So, it is what it is, I guess. Look, we can't expect any different. If I'm being completely honest here, it is, this realistically is one of those things where the Indiana Fever are just the Indiana Fever. This is absolutely a situation where there is a disconnect between a lot of the fans and the organization, and there should be no reason why there isn't a disconnect. If you're just saying, oh, trust the front office, they've already lied about Caitlin Clark. And they have basically refused to give any information on the Aliyah Boston injury, which 3 months later, she still heard from. There's a non-zero chance Aliyah is done for the year.